Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of Positively PosiGen, Energy Savings for Every Home. I'm your host, Lisa, your AI host and guide to all things solar. Today, we're digging into something really important, energy tax credits. These credits play a huge role in making solar affordable, especially for the hardworking families PosiGen serves. But right now, there are changes on the table that could take those credits away. What would that mean for real people? To help us understand, I'm joined by two of my colleagues from PosiGen, folks who are out there every day making solar access a reality. We will hear from Crystal Burnham, Director of Channel Operations, and Jacob Head, Manager Territory Sales. And later in the episode, we'll dive into listener mail, where one of you asked about how changes to energy tax credits might impact homeowners like you. Spoiler alert, the stakes are high, and there's a lot you can do to help. Let's dive in. Now, let's talk with our first guest speaker, Crystal Burnham. Crystal, we're so glad you're here. Can you start us off by sharing your name, your role at PosiGen, and where you call home?
Hello, my name is Crystal Burnham. I live in Louisiana, and I am the Director of Channel Operations here at PosiGen.
Great to meet you, Crystal. Now, I know you've been with PosiGen for quite a while, over a decade, in fact. Can you tell us what first brought you into the solar world? What drew you to this work?
When I started with PosiGen, I didn't really know anything about solar. I didn't come into the industry for solar. I was looking for a job, a career. Little did I know, 12 years later, I would still be in the solar world and absolutely loving it because we do help communities that get overlooked all the time. And it's very important. All people should have a choice if they want solar or not.
That's so powerful. And you're right. Everyone should have the option to choose clean energy, not just those with high incomes or perfect credit. Let's talk about what's at stake. There's been a lot of conversation lately about reducing or removing solar energy tax credits. For folks who may not understand the impact, what would losing those credits mean, especially for the families PosiGen serves?
Losing the solar energy credits is going to hurt the solar industry, but most importantly, it's going to hurt the families that we serve. Solar is no longer going to be affordable for people that truly need it, that need help on their utility bills.
You've seen firsthand how these credits make a real difference in lowering bills, increasing stability, and helping people improve their homes and futures. If you could sit down with lawmakers and decision makers, the folks who really have the power to protect or dismantle these programs, what would you want them to hear?
What I would like to tell Congress, or ask Congress, is to think about what this bill means to the thousands of people, whether they're going to lose their job for killing the industry, or not being able to afford the solar panels so they can afford their electric bill. Isn't it time that we levelize the playing field with oil and gas? People should have a choice. And if the government is going to subsidize oil and gas and nuclear, why can't they subsidize solar? Level it out. Let people have a choice.
Crystal, thank you for your honesty, your passion, and the years of dedication you've poured into this work. Your words are such a powerful reminder that this issue isn't about politics, it's about people. Next up, we'll hear from Jacob Head, a territory sales manager here at PosiGen, who's working directly with families every day to bring solar savings to life. Jake, thanks for joining us. Let's start with the basics. Can you introduce yourself and share what you do here at PosiGen?
My name's Jake Head. I'm a territory sales manager for Philadelphia and the surrounding counties. I live in North Wales, Pennsylvania.
Thanks, Jake. Philly is one of our most passionate solar markets. It's great to have your voice in this conversation. I know you didn't always work in clean energy. Can you talk a little about what brought you into this field and what made PosiGen stand out?
Before working in renewables, I had a lot of day jobs to pay the rent. And when I started having kids, I really wanted something simple where I could support my family, put us in a better position. And that's really what attracted me to the position with PosiGen was, there was a guaranteed salary. It wasn't just commission-based selling. There was a savings guarantee that protects the customer's interests, make sure we're doing the right things, helping people. And that's really what led me to the career I'm in now.
That's such a meaningful reason. And I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling of wanting something steady, something that lets you take care of your family and do something that matters. And clearly, you've seen firsthand the difference that solar can make. Can you tell us about the kinds of impact you've seen solar have for real working families?
That's probably been the most rewarding part of my career in renewables, is seeing the impact that solar can have on working families. Philadelphia has earned a distinction as definitely a working class city. There's a lot of intergenerational households where it's not just one person working paycheck to paycheck, it's a whole family working paycheck to paycheck just to keep the bills paid, keep the lights on. And if we can go into these homes and we can save this family $50, that's hugely impactful. They put money back in the pockets of the people who need it most.
Exactly. For many of the families we serve, it's not about going green just for the sake of it. It's about saving money where it counts. And energy tax credits are often what make those savings possible. So Jake, what would it mean for these families and for your work if those credits disappeared?
The loss of the energy credits would have a ripple effect that affects not only the families we serve, but future families we could have served, employees within our company and all of renewables. It's not going to result in a net positive for anyone in terms of savings. Ultimately, hard to find any bright spots in losing the energy credits. It would definitely mean not being able to help a lot of people in the future, and look back on these times and say, well, we had a good thing going.
That really puts things in perspective. These credits aren't just about today. They shape the future of who we can help and how far clean energy can reach. Jake, if you had a moment with lawmakers who are considering these changes, what would you say to them?
Access to renewable energy provides financial mobility for everybody involved. The homeowners get savings. Employees with careers like myself, I was able to become a first-time home buyer, move my family into a house that we own for the first time. It really is something that benefits the working class all the way up. It is a net positive that has impact in red and blue states. It is something that I did not think was ever going to be a part of my life, but now that it's here, I cannot imagine it gone.
Beautifully said, Jake. The path to clean energy should be a ladder, not a gate. And hearing how it's changed your life and the lives of your customers makes that more clear than ever. To our listeners, if this conversation inspired you, we invite you to learn more about how solar works, what energy credits do, and why policies matter. The more we understand, the more we can protect access for everyone. And just a friendly legal note, savings vary depending on your energy consumption, home location, and characteristics, and your utilities policies. During the first 12 months after the date your system is operational, we guarantee that your post-solar electricity costs will be less than your pre-solar electricity costs. If your post-solar electricity costs are greater than your pre-solar electricity costs during that 12-month period, PosiGen will either 1, provide a bill credit representing the difference between your pre-solar and post-solar electricity costs, or 2, provide additional energy efficiency services at no cost. See Residential Solar System Lease Agreement for full terms and conditions. Also, today's guests were compensated for their time. Thank you again to both of them for sharing their experiences. Before we wrap up, it's time for one of my favorite segments, Listener Mail. This week's question comes from Antonio in Pittsburgh. He asks, what exactly are energy tax credits, and why is everyone talking about them being in danger? Great question, Antonio, and the timing couldn't be more important. Energy tax credits are federal incentives that help make clean energy like rooftop solar more affordable. For PosiGen customers, those credits help us offer leasing options with no upfront cost, so working families can go solar without needing a big savings account or perfect credit score. Right now, Lawmakers in Congress are considering changes that could eliminate or drastically reduce these credits. That could hurt the solar industry, increase energy costs, and block access for the very families that need these savings the most. Here's what Tom Neihart, our founder, had to say about it. We've helped tens of thousands of working-class families save on their energy costs with rooftop solar leasing without requiring high credit scores, high incomes, or upfront costs. Immediately eliminating the energy credits would punish businesses, increase energy costs, and shut out the very families who need this support the most. And it's not just about families. These credits support nearly 300,000 American jobs, over 100,000 of which are tied to rooftop solar, and they've fueled a major boom in clean energy manufacturing right here in the U.S. Our VP of Policy, Kyle Wallace, put it simply, we cannot afford to go backwards. So what can you do? Call your members of Congress. Let them know that you support affordable clean energy, American jobs, and energy equity. Ask them to protect the energy tax credits that make solar possible for everyday families. That's it for this episode of Positively PosiGen. I'm Lisa, your AI host, reminding you that affordable energy should be for everyone, and your voice matters in making that happen. I'll see you next week.